Hey everybody, hope you're doing great. I'm Dave. Today we are reviewing two products from Harley-Davidson that promise to keep at least part of you cool during the summer when it is stickier than molasses on duct tape. Depending on where you live or do most of your riding during the hottest part of the year can be a big, sticky, hot, sweaty mess, especially when you compare boots, jeans, jacket, helmet, gloves, and an engine between your legs. It can kind of make you look like Albert Brooks in broadcast news.
Will severely limit NATO's ability to
5 seconds.
define State Department.
Everything's fine, Aaron.
To help simmer down your sweaty body on those hot summer rides, two products from Harley-Davidson, the cooling vest and the cooling vest that comes with the cooling kit. Both of these feature their Hyper Cool, K-E-W-L, their Hyper Cool lining, which is meant to be submerged in water and then evaporates over 2 to 3 hours, which is supposed to help keep your torso cool. The cooling kit comes with 4 removable ice packs that slide into inserts for an extra layer of chilliness. Also with the cooling kit, it comes with this handy-dandy lined bag to put the vest and your 4 ice packs, which of course has the H-D logo on the front. Perfect day to try this out with highs in the 90s and a heat index of 105. Putting on the cooling kit vest, the one with the ice packs. Ooh, that feels awesome. Just so you know, both of these vests we're going to be trying out today are supposed to fit very tight. They are supposed to go underneath another jacket. This is what I'm going to do. And we're off to work. This thing feels great. I love it. I'm about 10 minutes into my ride to work, and I thought I'd pull over and give you a quick first thoughts. Right now, I feel like one of those delicious T-bone steaks on the Schwann's truck that's wrapped in dry ice. The rest of my body is a sweaty mess, but the torso around the ice, man, it feels great. Time check. It has been about 4 hours since I've been to work. I've had this sitting in my office where it's about 73, 75 degrees. And these little cool packs are kind of cool. They're still hard as a rock, so that's interesting. But I think it's time to put these back in the freezer. That'll give me 3 hours before I get back on the bike. There is no telling what we're going to find in the office freezer. Oh, it's actually not that bad. Let's stuff this in here. Imagine when somebody's going to think, God, what is Parker having to eat? All right, nice and cold. Woo. All right. Woo, it is hot. Hopefully you can hear me because I'm not mic'd up right now. Got off the interstate about 10 minutes ago. It was stop and go, a lot of heat coming off the tarmac. I got to tell you, having this cold pack front and back around your torso really does make a difference. I mean, it's still really hot, but it does help. Imagine how it feels for her, having that coat on all day in this heat. All right, just got home. Yeah, just checked the temperature. It is 94 degrees. The heat index is 103. But the cold packs really did make a difference while I was riding. In case you're wondering if it makes you wet a little bit from the moisture, here's your answer. You can probably see that dry spot right there. This is where the ice packs sit. So yeah, it's going to make you kind of damp. So I don't know if that means you need to wear a dark colored shirt, but it did make a heck of a difference. 2 enthusiastic thumbs up on that. Since it's still in the 90s and I still have plenty of daylight, I want to do both of these vests today, which means the cooling vest is next. For the cooling vest, it says you're supposed to submerge it in cool water. I'm just going to kind of spray it under the sink. Then you're supposed to wipe off the excess and that will activate the Hyper Cool lining. Our cooling vest is nice and wet. Again, it's supposed to be fairly form-fitting. I'm going to put this underneath another jacket. You would think though with a mesh to allow air to run across that would help the evaporation. We might try that on another trip. We've got about a 25-minute ride out to Trader Joe's to get plantain chips, but it should be enough to give me an idea of how well this cooling vest works. About a 20 to 25 minute trip to get here. It's still in the 90s, full sun. It was certainly enough to let us know that these two vests are not even comparable when it comes to cooling qualities, which should be no surprise to anybody since one envelops you in packs of ice and the other is relying on kind of a slow wicking, evaporating quality to try to keep you cool. But with that said, I could notice a difference. Instead of that constant buildup of heat in your torso underneath the jacket on the hot pavement, it was several degrees cooler. We'll have more of a review when we finish up our honey-do list. So do these vests work? Well, for $199, you have a premium price on the ice packs. But the cooling vest with the cooling kit certainly works well. I mean, you can certainly tell you have wrapped yourself in ice. I'm not quite sure when you would ever use the tote bag that comes along with it. It's got wire at the top. You can't fold it down, so you wouldn't be able to stow it on your bike, but it certainly makes for a nice bag. The other issue I would have with the ice cooling kit is if you're going to take it to work like I did, and then plan to use it in the afternoon, you'd have to have access to a freezer to refreeze those packs. Maybe a small issue, but it's one you might want to consider. As far as the cooling vest, $60, completely different price point, and cools, of course, much less than the ice cooling kit because you don't have the ice. But I could tell the difference, and for $60, maybe that's worth it. One final point for you to consider. If you go to the Harley-Davidson website and you look at the details for each of these items, the Hyper Cool lining is only designed for 100 uses. So if you're planning to use this a lot during the summer, it may only last one summer, maybe two, so you'll have to decide if it's worth the price. Thanks for watching. Have a safe ride. We'll see you out on the road.